All right, everyone, we are in the second half of this day 2 of our IASAS Championships for Touch and Rugby 2026.
So we come in. Can we get audio on the live stream, please?
Yep, I just started, but I think nothing's going through.
Julian, on the live stream, can you just mention the time, please?
All right, folks, we are going to start right now. This is the big match up. In fact, this is probably the biggest match we have seen so far. We have the undefeated TAS Tigers. They are your hosts. They're going to be the home on the scoreboard against ISB, the defending champions, and they are 2 wins and 1 loss. This game is absolutely crucial to both teams, and it may just dictate who makes it into the finals tomorrow. Both teams with everything to lose and everything to gain, and they're going to put together They can't hear me. And the kickoff here by Patrick. TAS will take it and kick it off to ISB. Not a good kick, unfortunately. All right, so unfortunately, not a great start for TAS, kicking a little bit too far. They should be getting it outside the 10-meter line, but ISB will take it at half field. And they're going to go tap and go here. They're going to test the TAS defense right here with a nice big run there with numbers. ISB want to take it to TAS. TAS is undefeated right now, and they did an aim for a line out. And that is out the back. And that was kicked out the back, which means it should be a scrum. And it should be a line out to TAS. All right, so if you just missed it, the TAS Tigers kicked it out of the dead ball line. ISB got it at halfway. They had a couple phases there, got a penalty, kicked it out, but kicked it too far, so now it's TAS scrum just outside their own 22. So first time TAS will get it in hand, and they're going to do a little wrap. Unfortunately, knocked it on, but they picked it up again, and some unforced errors here, and maybe the nerves are getting them. The TAS players, they know how much this game means, but they just have to keep their head, stay disciplined here today. It's going to be ISB's scrum, and good ball out there. A great tackle, and that's going to be out of bounds. So that's going to be TAS ball with a great tackle there right on the hip of James, number 34, causing him to toss the ball out of bounds. Both teams are going to be very physical in this match. They're going to want to exert their physical dominance, and at the breakdown, at the rucks, and of course in the scrums as well. So it's going to be a line out for TAS. Nope. They opted for a forward pass, so that's going to be a scrum to TAS. Now TAS, they have used the kicking game quite a bit now, and they've got some speed in their back line. They made a couple substitutions starting this game, and we'll see if they use the kicking game or if they're going to keep the ball in hand, which has been so dependable. So that's a good kick there. They're going to hopefully find some grass, which they do. Great kick there. An excellent clearance there by Daly in sophomore for TAS. Finding touch, progressing the ball down the field. It's going to be ISB line out. They relieve the pressure with a well-placed kick away from Gabe Melody, who has a speedy winger for the ISB, who was back playing that fullback position. And that is a great, good hands there, nice feed. And here we go, running, kicked behind, and a kick and chase. A great play there, he keeps going. He continues to go, that was Daly. Excellent job there, gaining some valuable meters with a kick and chase. And ISB get the ball in their end. And that's going to be a scrum for TAS. So that was a beautiful kick there. They drew the defense and Daly kicks behind, a big chase, and now they're going to get the ball about 5 meters off from the line. A very smart play. So again, TAS does like to use ball in hand. They're very good at that, but also very tricky with their use of the kicks. They progress the ball down the field in several ways, and it has been to their advantage the last 3 games, which you've seen, and it's part of the reason why they are undefeated up to this point. But ISB is up to the task. They have great defense. They got speedy wingers. This is 2 very evenly matched teams. Now Caden might have a blind side opportunity here. So if the ISB scrum half does not wheel around the back of the scrum, Caden, the scrum half for TAS, he might be able to sneak on that blind side to get a try there, but they do have another defender there, so they know about the blind side threat. You see the scrum half going around. He's going to try it anyway. He's going to try to use his strength and get in, and it looks like they tried. So even with the defender, Caden Kowalik, the captain of the senior, he has scored the first try and opened the scoring here for TAS. It is a 5-0. So that blind side play there, the scrums always have to be fed from the left-hand side. And so if you're on the right-hand side of the field, and you can move all your back line to the left, it forces the defense to match up. And Patrick's going to go for a kick, and unfortunately an unconverted kick right there. So but from a very difficult position. So great kick. Great try there by Caden Kowalik using that blind side scrum to his advantage. That's a set play they've practiced, but even with defenders there, he relied on his strength and his agility to get that ball over the line. And now Patrick is going to be kicking it again. Hopefully he can kick it high and not deep. And again, they're kicking it deep, but it's not out. So that's going to be playable. ISB gets it, breaks the first tackle. And T-Crow with bring him to ground, and they've got him now. All right, so they've secured the ball, and there it is, met again. These are heavy bodies and a lot of meat and muscle out there, and they're trying to just break that gain line, which they have been able to do. They've gotten a few meters each time, and they might just grind their way down and until they get it out to the back line, and then he gets free here. So one-on-one here, and a tackle. A saving tackle there by Daly, the sophomore. And this is where ISB can be so potent. With ball in hand, they're very good. They get quick ball out. Both teams have very similar attempts. Gabe Melody with the ball now. He's very elusive. And ISB get the ball back again. That's going to be an offside call. So they're going to call that as a knock-on. It's going to be an ISB scrum. So they played advantage there. But ISB is going to take advantage of this moment. So great run there by James, number 34. But a nice try-saving tackle by Daly, the sophomore, to keep ISB scoreless. But inside the 22, ISB is going to have a good chance here. They are potent with ball in hand. They've got speedy wingers. The twins, 34 and 10, Joshua and Jacob. They are quite strong for ISB. Nicola, number 11, for ISB, also very speedy. He scored several tries in this tournament. So a very formidable back line for ISB, but an equally formidable back line for TAS. They may be smaller in stature, but they are just as quick and aggressive, and they can make those good tackles. So ball in, here it is. Ball comes out, skip pass. There's going to be an overlap here. It breaks one tackle, and tries to break the other one. Another tackle there by Sasha Mays, picked up by Daly. They get the ball back again, and good quick recovery. So they're doing a good job there, going into contact and securing that ball. ISB not releasing. There it is. It's going to be they're going to be offside there. They're doing a quick tap, and they're going to move that ball quickly as best they can, get it upfield, and this is where they're very strong. They're very good in the transition. They secure the ball well, and again, that is, I sometimes have to disagree with referees, but that's a little bit, it's a rolling on call. Arguably, it could go either way on that one, but ISB gets the chance now to kick it to touch. And again, another poor touch. So that's going to go back to where they kicked it from. So another unforced error here by ISB. They could have taken advantage of that by kicking it out on the full. In fact, he just miscalculated and hit it out the back, which means TAS is going to get a scrum where the ball was kicked. So an unfortunate circumstance there, maybe a small error by ISB. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to play. If you're just joining us here, TAS, the home team, on the scoreboard and on the field, are up 5-0 over ISB, wearing all black. The game has been more of a seesaw battle. It's been going back and forth. A few errors here and there, but mostly both teams look very threatening when they have the ball. And a good tackle there. Picks it up, not held. He's going to keep going. Good tackle. He has to release it. He has to release. And so the penalty of not releasing the ball. Now again, we know that ISB is always very aggressive at the breakdown. You've got to be there quickly. You've got to have support. So it's going to be a line out for ISB right about the halfway mark. So fresh legs are coming in for TAS. Ethan and Emmett will come on, and Carl and Tikro will go off. ISB remain with their starters on, and this is one advantage I think that TAS does have, is that they have quite a bit of depth on their team. There isn't, the coaches talked to me earlier, and they said they have faith in every single player they put on that field. And in fact, it's not about needing to get a player on, but they actually want to get all these players on. So there's a bit of a difference there. And again, that long stretched out arm, by James can really prevent you, unless you're getting low on him. A nice tackle there by Ian Fan. And quick ball out again. They're going to take it to it. Good tackle there. But they're still getting past the gain line. They're still making meters. ISB finding a gap, and now they're going to get it out to the backs, and that's where the speedy, great tackle there by Jack, preventing him, and another one by Gabe. They're moving that ball, they're keeping the ball alive, and they're relying on the ball in hand, but TAS is up to the challenge. They're making those tackles. Great hit by Ian Fan, and really making those physical contacts count. They've got to tackle lower, especially with the fending arm of ISB Brunners. And again, they just keep bashing through. They're trying to break through that defense, but the defense line is holding very, very strong. They're making those one-on-one tackles very, very well. And now Gabe Melody will score in the corner. Or will he? We will see what the officials say. He may have stepped out. He's going to confer with the referee whether he stepped out or not, or whether he placed the ball, whether it was a knock-on. So it looks like it's going to be a try. It is a try. So ISB have leveled the score, and that was a try by Gabriel Melody. And James, number 34 for ISB, he is going to be taking that conversion kick. And he's been quite solid so far. But from this position here, from the corner, he hasn't made one yet. But I do have faith in him. I know his team does as well. It's not an impossible kick, but he does have to strike it well. There's no breeze, really. And that's a good attempt, and that could make it through, but just shy. So, level the score 5-5, ISB and TAS. Again, this is going to be an epic battle here. We may see these two teams in the finals yet again. They may see each other again if they are lucky. I know they both want to see each other in the finals because they want the two best teams, which they believe they are, to be in that final fighting for gold at these 2026 IASAS championships. A nice kick there and a good chase. Good handles there. That's going to be a high tackle. That's going to be a penalty for TAS. They're going to do a tap and go, a quick tap, and they're going to get ball in hand. They're not going to let ISB set the defense. And there goes Romano with a strong run. He's going to get down to ground. He gets ball pulled out. He's got to protect that ball a little bit better. Otherwise, ISB are going to get that ball every time. Again, that fending arm, really tough to take down. And he's still on his feet. He gets his shoulder low. Good tackle there by Daly from TAS. And now ball out. Ball in hand. Another great one-on-one tackle. And if that's our ball, that's TAS ball. Trying to be impartial. It's a penalty for holding on. Ian Fan again. He's going to knock it on to Jack Fowler, who's going to go for distance. Oh, he trips up. That's a high tackle. That should be a high tackle. But apparently the ref did not see what I saw. So that looked like a high tackle here, but I think they're going to play it as a line out for ISB. Subs are coming in now. About 25 seconds left to go. Now ISB, they're going to want to keep the ball in hand. They're going to want to try to do something. Now this time, this is a similar situation that's happened yesterday against SAS. It was closing at the end of the game, and they decided to keep the ball in hand and kick it, and SAS ended up getting the ball and then taking it back to score. So will they take this? The other thing you have to realize is that the time on the clock might not be exactly what the referees have, based on whether it's injuries or whether it is just time that he has called. Just because the game clock is stopped doesn't mean the game is stopped. You have to wait for the final whistle for the referee. So the time clock, there's no more time left. And the referee is the one who keeps the time. So even though the scoreboard has 0 time left on the clock, all players still must play. They can't just kick the ball out to touch because there could be some extra time added by the referee. But TAS will get it. So there again, so ISB took the chance there to get the ball, and unfortunately turned it over, and now TAS could punish them if they can score here. That's a nice pass. And that's it. They're keeping the ball in hand. They're keeping it going. They're trying to score and trying to go into the second half with. It's going to be tough. These guys are really good at the breakdown. They got to get the ball out if they can, and they do. They've got numbers. They got one more, and they're going. Yes, that is TAS's second try, and Derek scores that one. So again, this is twice that ISB has gambled with so little time on the clock. They've taken it. Granted, the referee does have the time clock, so maybe that was the right play for ISB, but Derek, the sophomore from TAS, able to score there, and they can go into the second half with bare minimum a 5-point lead, and Daly, the sophomore, is going to try a very difficult kick here. If he can make this, that would be bonus, but just a try on the board is good enough. Just missed, just shy. And so on the field right now, we have the upper school. Upper school cheer club. They're going to be doing a performance right now, but right now Here we go. We have the second half about to begin. ISB down by 5 points against the host team. The home team wearing yellow, that's TAS. They're home on the scoreboard and home on the field. They are your hosts for this tournament. And ISB wearing black, they are the guests. It has been a very highly contested. It has been a highly contested match so far. And ISB will be kicking it off for this second half. All right, so ISB is going to be kicking it off here. James, number 34, kicks it off. Nice high kick. They're going to compete for that contest, and that's going to be a knock-on for TAS. But they're going to play advantage. ISB have it. Breaks another tackle. Lofts it over to his brother as they go and keeps the ball alive. Another missed tackle there. Another missed tackle, and he's just blowing through. Great play there by ISB, continuing that ball. TAS have to be very disciplined in this play, so that is a penalty against ISB. They're not holding on, and they're going to go. There's nobody back there, so they need to rely on a big chase here, and Gabe Melody's going to get it. He is very potent with that ball. He is going to step one way and tackled from behind. A great tackle there by Sasha, the sophomore. ISB get it deep in their end. And they're going to keep ball in hand. They've been very successful with that so far. They've been able to break a lot of these tackles using the fend. They have long arms, and it's really difficult for TAS to actually get a body on their hips or their legs to slow them down. But right now, ISB getting a word from the ref. Not sure what that word is, but they now they're going to kick for touch. So they're looking to kick to advance the ball up to hopefully get a line out. And Sephiroth for TAS is there to receive it, but it will go out of bounds and they will find touch. ISB will have a line out just outside the halfway line. If you just joined us, it is TAS in gold, ISB in all black. On the score, it is TAS 10, ISB 5. This is a crucial game for both teams. And this lineout also very important. ISB need to win this, which they do, and they win it cleanly. Ball gets out, and there goes the defensive line coming up. They need to make their tackles. And a great tackle coming up quickly on Gabe was Sephiroth, and they bring them down to ground. Very tough kid to kick down, that Gabe Melody. But again, they're trying to crash through and met strongly by the TAS defense. And again, a Tikro crunching tackle, and that's going to be a knock-on. What an amazing tackle by Tikro, the senior, although he may have sacrificed a little bit too much of his shoulder there to make that turnover. It looks like possibly a separated shoulder. That's unfortunate because that was a crunching tackle, a strong run by ISB, and more likely than anything, Tico is going to have to leave the field, but it will be TAS ball. It will be TAS ball about midfield, but this is what this team does for each other. This TAS team, they are such a great team. They sacrifice for themselves, they sacrifice for each other, and oftentimes they will sacrifice their body. They'll put it on the line for the sake of the team. But that's the one strength that TAS has is their depth. They have a lot of players that can fill those positions, and that's been their strength the entire season. It's going to be TAS ball. That's it. Unfortunate drop there. It's going to be a knock-on. So ISB is going to have the ball now. They're going to have it at the same midfield area. They're going to have it put in into the scrum right in the middle of the field. So TAS have to be careful of how they play this. They're going to have three strong runners there with Joshua, Jacob, Gabe Melody. And they don't know if they're going to go left side or right side. They have to play an equal part. TAS have to distribute themselves 2 and 2 on either side of that scrum, and they have to read where they're going to go. So they're going to the right-hand side. They've got to get there quickly, and hopefully. But met handily. That good tackle there by TAS, securing the ball well as ISB once again, and getting the ball out. They're going to try to break through that gain line, and again met strongly with TAS defenders. And again, they're just going to try to wear down this TAS defense, and TAS get the ball now. They got to secure that ball. They got to hold that ball as best they can. Great clear out there by Ian Quill, taking 2 players out at the same time, and now it could be a race to the finish. There's Patrick, offloads it, picks it up. And again, ball in hand right now. Great job there, great run through. And they're securing that ruck. They get the balls. And Ian Fan with the ball. He's got good ball in hand. He's going to find a gap through the middle. And he's going to go in for the try. Ian Fan. An amazing turn of events. He led that turnover. He led that with a crunching tackle. Taking out, unfortunately, I think it was a head collision. 2 players at the same time took on that one. And he might be feeling it a little bit too. There were definitely some heads being clashed there. 1 ISB player is down. And unfortunately, hopefully he has not taken himself out of the game. But that started and finished with Ian Fan. And a great run there. And that is a converted try by Brendan. So they're going to go up now. So Ian Fan started that, but the missed pass by ISB picked up by Derek from TAS, running down, and then there were 2 ISB players ready to jackal the ball, and an amazing clear out by Emmett, the sophomore, really secured that ball. So we have a head injury. They are going to check on this ISB player. Right now the score is 17-5 in favor of TAS. And thankfully, he is up. He is up. Maybe a little shaken. We have amazingly trained athletic trainers all across this, and I'm so glad that Edward from ISB is able to get up on his feet and walk off the field. You never want to be stretchered off. This is a relieving moment for all of the fans here, for his family, for everybody. You never want to see those head injuries lead to anything more serious than that. So glad Edward is okay, and they're going to make a sub in for ISB. We have TAS going to kick off again. They are up 17-5, and that's a much better kick by Patrick there. Nice and controlled. A fake kick, and they need to get him out of bounds, or at least down, and there it is, out of bounds. So it's going to be, he was out of bounds first, and that's a TAS line out, it looks like. So again, there's not much between these teams. Even though the score is 12 points different, there's not much between them. They fight hard, they battle hard, and both teams have been quite disciplined actually at the breakdown. They contest for every single one, and they don't want to give anything to the other team. This is really what rugby is all about. It's what sport is all about, and they're putting on a great display here for the hometown fans and the visitors alike. So TAS again trying to break through that back line. Again, relentless pressure by ISB. TAS are going to have to secure that ruck much better than they've been doing. And now it comes out to Caden Kowalik, who's got to break for it. He only has one more player to beat. Can he do it? He's got the speed. He's going to go and score under the posts for his second try of the game. TAS goes up 22-5, and it gives Daly the opportunity to convert under the posts. It seemed like it was something was created out of nothing, ISB returned that kick very, very well. They moved up the field. They got good position, and a nice conversion there by Patrick. His second conversion of the game. So with a comfortable lead now, 24-5, TAS is out in front, but there's still plenty of time left on the clock. I've seen these games turn sour, especially when they get a little bit too confident. The other team gets a little bit of belief in themselves, they get a little momentum, and the tides can turn very, very easily. TAS have to stay disciplined, TAS have to stay controlled and composed and play their game. ISB, they have been in this situation before, and they can't handle it. If any team can come back, it is this ISB Panther team. They've got the speed, they've got the aggression, they've got the power, they've got everything they need, and that could be holding on. But no, they're going to take that. ISB. And again, ball in hand. It's one of their favorites. Out to the winger, knocks it on. That's going to be TAS ball. So again, some unforced errors here, unfortunately, for ISB. Some handling errors deep in their end. But the relentless pressure by TAS has been very good. Both teams really difficult to break down. They're not creating many gaps for the other teams to exploit. Their tackling has been sensational right across the board. Both teams have been doing very, very well. And certainly the score line does not really, it's not really an adequate reflection of how close this game has actually been. All right, so ISB, great scrum work there, and they caused the knock-on for TAS. So TAS is going to have to work on that to make sure that they can actually push against and withstand that big push by ISB. So it'll be the ISB put in, and again, their strength really has been ball in hand. They've got their backs in a deep position. And TAS is ready to put pressure on their defensive line as they do. It's a straight arm, bent arm penalty. Offside again. It's going to be an advantage to ISB. And ball out there. Not a great pass, but we'll see if he can get it. And there's going to be no advantage. So they're going to call that one back. And the referee did give advantage there to ISB, but they were unable to take advantage of it and put it to good use. So it's going to be a bent arm penalty here. They are not allowed to kick it out to touch on a bent arm penalty, but they can do a tap and go. They can do a scrum if they want to, and it looks like they're going to opt for the tap. And they're going to try to break through this defensive line. Very strong defensive line by TAS, but making some meters there. He gained about 4 extra meters, and he has several defenders around him. Another good strong, but no movement there. No, they're actually losing meters there. Great defensive play by TAS, and again, back out to the back line, moving it. That's Nickel. He scored many tries so far and brought down by TAS Patrick, the senior. Again, good play there by ISB, trying to maintain possession, and TAS slowing down the play. So they're going to be happy, ISB, just picking up the ball and moving with the ball and making meter after meter and putting TAS onto the back foot, make them play defense. It is far more exhausting playing defense than it is playing with the ball. And they keep the ball alive, off the head. Romano takes it, and Romano could break through, and he gets it. TAS again, turn over the ball, wide ball over there. Oh, breaks 2 tackles. Daly, the sophomore, breaking 2 tackles with stiff arms, and let's see if he can be brought down to the ground. TAS still have the ball. One more pass ought to do it. That's another unselfish play. Amazing play there. That was unselfish play there by all those members. It started off with a great pass from Derek over to Daly. Daly breaking a few tackles, putting the pressure on ISB, and that last little bit, that securing the ruck, getting it out to Hound, and then Hound, that unselfish play to give it off to Derek, the sophomore. And that could make it, but no, just a little bit. Had the distance, but a little bit left. So another try for Derek. That's the second of the game, and that puts TAS 29-5 in the driver's seat. They're likely going to get some of their subs in so they can rest them for a little bit later on. But right now, TAS is playing very well. ISB, this seems like a mountain, possibly a bridge too far to cross at this point with only 3.5 minutes left. They may opt to save some of their players for later. So ISB, they're going to receive this one. This kick, a nice high kick there and a great chase. Put pressure on the ball carrier, which he's done. Met by Sephiroth and another tackle. There it is. That's it. Very physical these TAS players are. Getting hands in the ruck there, penalized for some undisciplined play. TAS has to retreat 10, and ISB is going to look for the touchline and advance the ball. So ISB with the line out. And unfortunately some missed call there. But number 6 taking it. Getting wrapped up by several of TAS players. They go to ground, they secure the ball, and ISB get it again. So again, both teams play opt and a knock on there by Gabe. Unfortunately mishandled. They're going to play the scrum to TAS, a double knock on there, and that's going to be a scrum to TAS. So TAS comfortably in the lead here, 29-5, but it hasn't come at no cost. They do have a couple players injured. Tico, who is one of their strongest forwards, it looked like he may have separated his shoulder there, and we know that Iñaki, their freshman, their speedy freshman, also we hope for him to return tomorrow as well. They still have 2 games tomorrow, but we hope that this game did matter. This game really did matter, so if you are going to sacrifice yourself, you sacrifice in the game that could very easily put you into the final and playing for that gold medal match. So TAS have the ball now. The time is ticking down, and again, I'll remind viewers and anyone listening that the time on the score clock is just a rough time. The referee is the one who holds the time. They are the timekeepers, and they will blow the whistle when the time is up. And a smart move there, and a great kick. So a big chase there by TAS. They just have to keep him stopped there, and Gabe Melody breaking one tackle, almost breaks another one. And he's still on his feet, and it takes 2 guys to get him down. And ISB is down again, taken down. I am noticing that some of the fending is looking a little bit like elbows being thrown. So the referee should try to keep note of that. We want to make sure this game, even though highly contested, stays clean and the boys play with the highest level of sportsmanship. Even though frustrations may be setting in, it is important to maintain an ethical frame of mind and playing the game fairly and honestly. So time is up, but again, the referee will decide when the time is up. They're going to keep ball in hand as best they can. And that is the game. A convincing victory for TAS in front of the home crowd. They were the home team on the scoreboard and the home team on the field. That was a huge game, and it may, as you can see, the reaction from ISB, it may have just led to them playing for bronze instead of gold. So our defending champions will likely, and it's not over yet, but it really put them relying on other teams' performances to determine where they play in the finals. So here's how it works. So in tie-breaking situations, if two teams are tied, what they do is they go to head-to-head. So whoever won in that head-to-head competition, they are the ones that move through. If it is a tie between three teams, then what happens is they go to goal or point differential between those three teams and how they played each other. Right now, because SAS beat ISB, TAS beat both ISB and SAS. Each of those three teams, SAS, ISB, and TAS, they still have to win their last game. But if for some reason TAS doesn't, it could be a three-way tie. There's a bunch of other, and if ISB and SAS win their games, it could be a three-way tie, assuming that TAS loses. If TAS wins their last game, then it's possible that ISAS and ISB will be tied for second place, and then it goes head-to-head, which means then SAS, because they beat them in that crucial match yesterday morning, the very first game that they had, and they lost 15-14, that SAS would move to the final. So there's still plenty to play for. Nothing has been determined yet, but it does make things a little bit more complicated, a little bit harder for ISB, because if TAS wins their next game, ISB wins, and SAS wins, then it'll be SAS and TAS in the final, and ISB playing for third. So, unfortunately, ISB, after playing a great game there, it really was a highly contested contest there. The scoreline does not indicate, it's not a true reflection of how closely contended that game was. Both teams fought very, very hard. Both teams were disciplined for the most part. They tried to execute as best they possibly could. Credit goes to ISB. Credit goes to TAS. Two very evenly matched teams, even though the score looked like it was one-sided. All right, we are back on for the second match, the fourth match of these teams, and the second match of this afternoon session here at the 2026 Touch Rugby Championships, IASAS Championships here at the Taipei American School in Taipei, Taiwan. We have the International School of Manila in the Philippines wearing the green and black hooped shirts, playing against GIST, the Jakarta Intercultural School, wearing the white and blue. On your scoreboard, it's going to be the home team will be GIST. They always wear the lighter colors, and the guests always wear the darker uniforms. And so right now, again, great pass there by the birthday boy, Harvey. He's making his way there. He's going to cheer on his teammate, number 6, all the way to the All right, so we have GIST right now. Unfortunately, they are 0-3 going into this game. They have yet to score a try, and that's one thing they're definitely going to want to try to get on the board in this one here. They get good ball out there, good ball in hand. ISM were 0-2 yesterday, but they did win their first match this morning with an outstanding game against ISKL. ISM really came to play this morning. They were battling hard. They were very physical. They were good at the breakdowns. They used the ball well in hand and with their kicking. And and they are 1 win and 2 losses. A nice behind-the-back pass by Harvey. Unfortunately, forward pass. That would have been the highlight of the tournament if that pass had been legal, but unfortunately, it is going to be a scrum to the GIS team. Good clean ball out there. Let's see if GIS can make something of it. All right, so we have GIS doing a smart play here, kicking for touch. That way they can advance the ball on the ISM penalty, and they can get their line out. Now, the line out hasn't been working as well as I'm sure they would like during this tournament so far. They only put 3 in the line out, and so they're going to opt for having more people in the back line, and let's see if they can get it. Yes, fine. Very good. Excellent job getting the ball out there, getting the numbers, knocking it on, unfortunately. So handling errors has been an issue, but I think they're going to go back to a penalty here for ISB. So they played the advantage. So the official is playing the advantage here. It's a bent arm penalty. Not sure what the penalty is, but it should be GIS should be their ball. Okay, so I don't know what the penalty is, but it's GIS ball, bent arm penalty. They cannot kick it out to touch, though. If they kick it out to touch, it'll be ISM's ball. They can opt for a scrum or a tap and go, and the referee, I think, just clarified that point. So tap and go here from GIS. Nice little pass there, pop pass. That was very close to a spear tackle, but it's still legal. That was fine. GIS trying to make through that ISB line and trying to go short side. ISM up to the task. They're not getting anywhere right now. And again, good pressure there through the legs. Fancy play there. But GIS, ISM take the ball. They're not securing the ball as well as they would like right now, GIS, and so they've turned over the ball. Harvey, number 7, he was very effective. Nice sidestepping, and he's going to pass it off again. Another selfless play. Remember, doesn't matter who scores. A try is always a team try. Harvey may have been able to score on that one, but instead he opted to pass to KG, who ended up scoring and putting the score up 12-0. They will have an attempt here for a conversion to add to their lead. And that is off the mark. So the score remains 12 to ISM, 0 to GIS. So again, another penalty here. This has been an issue for ISM, is some of these unforced and unnecessary penalties. They've lost many, many meters on this. And if they tend if they want to compete, especially to get into that bronze medal game, they're going to have to keep their discipline when they're playing. There's some needless penalties, and they just keep conceding possession to the other team. All right, and another try there under the post for ISM, extending their lead. And that is a successful conversion there, making the score 19-0 in favor of ISM. There are some subs coming in. And I think that a all right, again, just kick for touch. All right, so just again, another penalty. They're opting for 2 in the line out. They're going to try to keep it simple here, keep the ball in hand, and hopefully they can just work on some of those fundamentals which have been eluding them. They've gone to the kicking game. That really worked well, actually, in their previous game, putting pressure on ISM. ISM's going to run it out the back, but if you can stop them here, and a good run there, ISM's going to be tough to beat here. They break this tackle. And another broken tackle there. Good jackling there by IS. Just fantastic. That is some really good fundamentals there. Getting there at the breakdown before ISM can contest for that ruck. And they've just won possession again. Won the ball and holding on. So they're going to keep using this tactic of putting pressure on the defense, using the kicking game, getting the ball in a touch, winning those lineouts. And I know it is going to mean so much. If they can get on the board here, they are within about 10 meters of the ISM's try line. If they can get a try, right now I know that the crowd and their whole team is going to go crazy because finally they'll get the first try of this tournament. Great line out there. Very well done. And now they're going to try the maul. The maul, they're going to have to keep pushing, and they're going to go to the blind side. Can they get it? Great job by ISM to stop that. Another great one. ISM are trying. Their goal line defense, their try line defense has been very, very good this whole tournament. And just they have to keep composure. They don't want to lose sight of what they're doing. And that is a try, and there you go. You see the celebrations right now. They haven't won the game, but they're finally on the board just with the first try of the tournament. Fantastic work, and that was the fundamentals. Just working those fundamentals, getting the line out, working the kick, putting pressure on the defending player, making your tackles, and then jackling for the ball. Fantastic work. They turn over the ball, they kick for touch, get the line out, work them all. That is rugby at its best. Fundamentals will almost always win out, and they don't have to do anything fancy. They just have to do the little things really, really well. We call those the 1%ers. All those little 1%ers that add up to 100%, and just did that. That was fantastic by Gis, making the score 19-5. So they are off the board, or they're on the board. But you can see that was their first try of this tournament, and that should give them a little bit of hope, a little bit of momentum. And their tactics now, keeping it simple, using the kicking game, it does make a difference. And a great take there by ISM. A little mixed up there, but it's, again, just making the... I'm not sure what that call was, but it's a straight-on penalty in favor of ISM. That was against Gis. Now, Gis should have somebody back if they're going to go for touch, but just in case they don't find the touch, right? So every single time another team is trying to kick for touch, you want to send somebody back to field an errant kick. Maybe they don't find touch. But that was a really, really good kick by ISM. So 3 minutes left. 19-5 6-5 in favor of the guests, which are the ISM Bearcats. And against GIS Dragons with 5, getting their first try just moments ago. First try of the tournament. And I think they're going to find a lot of hope in just those small successes. And that's one of the beauties of this tournament, is that throughout the 6-game tournament that this is, the improvements and the improvements that are made and the growth that happens is just remarkable. And just, you've seen that. They keep getting better every single game, but so does everybody else. And that's why the parity might not be there, but the improvements are, and you can take solace in knowing that you're doing the little things right, and those things can really add up, especially over time. And they have a very, very young team, only 3 seniors. Just only have 3 seniors, and a lot of guys coming back. Their team is mostly comprised of juniors and sophomores, so they will have a very bright future here. And they take their lumps this year, but they are really going to be learning a lot from this experience. Great pass there inside. They got numbers on the right, but he's going to go for it himself if he can. And they're going to still try to get under the posts, and they score another one under the post. It should make it easy. Just tried to hold the ball. They tried to get underneath the ball to hold it up and force a 5-meter scrum, but ISM was able to put it down. So they extend their lead to 19 points, and it could be 21 if Harvey, the birthday boy, can make this kick. And they do. It is 26-5. All right, another try there for ISM as they close out this first half. And the conversion attempt is made by Strauss, and he makes that, extending the lead from 33-5. And a great take there by Oliver from GIS. Using a lot of composure just to even take that one, knowing that he had a couple defenders on him, and he was ready to take that contact. Oh, great kick. That's getting in favor of GIS. They got to get it, and they do. So they do kick it up, but they were able to get the possession back, and it's a little bit sloppy here. They're finding the ball. They can't quite hold on to it cleanly, and that's going to mean a knock-on, and that's going to be the end of the half. So that should be the end of the half. And we'll be back here in a few minutes with some more exciting action from this year's IASAS or Touch and Rugby Championships here at the Taipei American School. tournament, but they were able to get on the scoreboard finally, and it was a long wait for them. But a small success is still success. We're not looking for perfection. We are looking for progress, and GIS has definitely been able to do that. ISM, they're still going to look to win this game, so they are not out of this tournament by any means. They're going to have a big game tomorrow. Assuming that the score stays similar to this and in their favor, they will be 2 wins and 2 losses, tied with ISB, and they will meet them tomorrow. And so there still may be a chance that ISM could make the finals if they have a really fortunate game tomorrow. Nice pickup there. Really, really tough to grab, but he still got it. Gets it out. Just, again, relentless pressure. Knocks it back. That's not a knock. Well, the referee is clearly seeing something different than me. It is, so they called it against ISM. All right, that makes sense. So I'm a little confused as to that call. It looked like she called a knock on, but then she called it as a penalty. Normally knock-ons are scrums, but I guess it was a different call. I will trust the referee knows what they're doing. And we will go with all right, so the referee is having a word with them. And again, over the top, but they should be able to recover that one. As they do, they take it to ground. Just securing the ball, but again, he's not going through the gate. It's a scrum for Gis. Again, I can't tell you what that call is. But it is going to be a Gis scrum just over midfield. So Gis is lined up all on the right-hand side. They got nobody on this blind side over here. They're opting to keep ball in hand. Not a bad play would be to get it out to the right and then kicking it across field to the left. If they have another runner there, they could keep that scrum half over to the left-hand side, get it out to the right, and then kick it across field. That might be something that could break down ISM's defense. But again, I'm not coaching either of these teams. I'm just commentating. And Gis will have the put in. That's a collapsed scrum, and that's going to be a penalty for pulling it down the scrum, apparently. And that's going to be ISM ball. So here comes ISM. Strong run there all the way through. Takes one tackle, breaks one, breaks another. He's going like a freight train. It's tough to stop. But again, good counter-rucking there by Gis. But unfortunately, hands in the ruck. A ruck had already been formed before he puts his hand in to get the ball. And now out to Harvey, number 7, who has been instrumental in the ISM offense. Very elusive. A little high tackle there. Breaks 3 tackles and skirts his way on through. So another try for Harvey. And I know I've mentioned it before, but it is his birthday today, as well as Coach Pierce. And you can hear some of them singing it right now on the field. And Harvey gets this extend the lead to 38-5. And a missed conversion attempt will keep the score as is. All right, a good kickoff there, and it looks like there's a Gis player down. Hopefully it is nothing serious, but they've secured the ruck, and another big tackle there by ISM, and a penalty against ISM, a high tackle. So again, these unforced errors, these undisciplined plays, is just going to cost them meters. It's going to cost them momentum, and it's going to allow GIS and tried to keep the ball in. A valiant effort there trying to keep the ball in play, but a very, very good kick by GIS. They're going to advance the ball up the field to the 10-meter line of ISM's side. And it looks like they're opting for 3 in the line-out. And unfortunately, ISM wins this line-out. Or it's a penalty against ISM. It's a bent arm penalty. Again, a bent arm penalty means that they can either do a tap or a scrum. I mean, they can kick it out if they want to, but they won't get the ball back again like you would with a straight arm penalty. And so now we have ISM putting pressure on GIS, but GIS really controlling the ball well. Dislodging the ball, and here we go. It's going to be a foot race now if they can take it. That is Oliver from GIS making his way around. Great tackle there, but it gets up and down, and there it is. GIS has to make sure they connect this. It's going to be a not releasing penalty. So if you make the tackle, you do have to release the player. And again, another error. Now, whether these are all intentional errors or whether these are just ones that happen because this is the amateur level, we do make mistakes here and there. But some of these players are learning rugby for the very, very first time. They don't know all the laws of rugby, and I don't even think I know all the laws of rugby. But they're out there, and they're competing, they're participating, and that is what we're trying to promote here. And a pass back. That's going to be a stolen by ISM. Secures the ruck. Well done. Great there. Good low body position. And doesn't allow just to get underneath him to push him back. And a nice move. Another break and tackle. Another broken tackle. He's got numbers. He can find the open space. Missed tackle there. And another try under the posts. And that was for Sijan. Sijan with a nice try. So again, ISM are potent when they do have ball in hand, except they do have to maintain their discipline to make sure they don't concede too many penalties. They've lost way too much possession, way too many penalties, and way too many meters that they just give to GIS. That's going to be a knock-on. Knock-on for GIS, which means that's going to be ISM's scrum. Great tackle there by GIS, preventing ISM from making any meters there, but it's going to be a straight arm penalty. They can do a tap, and they go with a quick play there. Offloading very well down the middle, bringing one tackle, great spin, another low body position, and there it is. ISM continuing that ball moving forward, gaining valuable meters and putting GIS on the back foot. Very difficult to organize yourself defensively when you are constantly going backwards. You're retreating in space. It's very difficult to keep yourself organized and in line. But it will be a penalty brought back to the 5-meter line. Looks like an offside call on GIS, and they can either go for a tap, a scrum, or a line or a kick for touch. And unfortunately, the ref did not call that as a knock-on. And in fact, it's a try. So obviously the ball went backwards. And I'm not an expert, and from my vantage point, I couldn't tell if that was going backwards or forwards, but the ref had better position than me, and she called that a fair play. So another try for ISM, making the score 50-5. A little sloppy there, but they still get the ball. Another good kick there. Tough to handle, but easily handled there by number 12. Puts on a little goose step, tries another one, tries to break a tackle. A nice offload there by ISM. Great skill, great awareness to know where his supporting players are, and hands in the ruck. It's not. It's going to be, that's fair play. A ruck apparently was not formed, and he's going to kick it out. This is going to be a 50-50 here. Anybody's ball at this point, as long as they play it backwards. And ISM making a strong tackle against Just. Try to contest the ruck here, really slow it down. Slow Just's play down a little bit as best they can. And now the ball is turned over, and the ref will call not rolling away. And that's going to be a straight-on penalty. So again, another penalty against ISM. And because they've been so good at kicking it out to touch and extending, they may not be able to get it out here. Great take. So again, ISM get it, but now they cross over the Just half. They got numbers on the left. Another broken tackle there, and a great tackle, great try-saving tackle there by number 50 or 30 from Just. Just now get the ball back again, or maybe they don't. It's going to be a scrum in favor of Just. So a little bit of sloppy play here. And another try there for ISM. Unfortunately, yes, that's a tough take off that good kick. When you hear those footsteps, when you see someone thundering towards you, it's difficult to keep your eyes on the ball, knowing that you're going to make contact or someone's going to be tackling you. And we know that ISM, they are fierce tacklers. They put everything into each and every single tackle. So you know there will be a little bit of discomfort, maybe a little bit of pain in those tackles. And as the Just player played it forward, but ISM getting good ball in hand. And again, they've got their subs in now, and their subs are getting plenty of time now. And this is a good opportunity for them to get some of that knowledge, to rest some of their starters for tomorrow's big match against ISB, and let these the subs coming in, these fresh legs, to get a lot of experience, because they're going to need it down the stretch. Now, the picture for ISM, if they want to, there is still, I believe, a chance that they can make the final, but it depends on a few other results. So, if I am correct, and I could be wrong, if SAS lose this afternoon to ISKL and win tomorrow, they'll be sitting at 3 wins and 2 losses. going into tomorrow's game, ISM will have 2 wins and 2 losses, and so will ISB. And ISB plays ISM tomorrow, so the winner of that game will have 3 wins and 2 losses. So then it goes head-to-head against SAS. I can't figure out the math, folks. I don't know. I keep thinking everybody's got a chance, and maybe they don't. We do know for sure, though, the TAS, the home team, with 4 wins and no losses, even if they lose tomorrow against ISKL, they will advance automatically to the final. So now it's just a matter of who plays in that final. Whether is it going to be ISM, ISB, or SAS? I don't know if it is a surefire thing yet, but we will certainly see. All right, and we're back. And if you're just joining us, we are here with the third and final match of this second round of Day 2 rugby matches. We have the home team on the scoreboard wearing yellow and blue. That is ISKL. Against the blue and red hooped jerseys of SAS, and they are the guest team on the scoreboard. Right now, there was a penalty against ISKL, and SAS has opted to kick for touch. They're going to advance the ball up and rely on their very dependable line-out, which has been working quite well this entire tournament, to gain valuable meters into ISKL zone. So this is not to say this is a must-win for SAS. Every game is a must-win game for all these players, but SAS definitely taking it to them. A good offload there. One more run on the left if he can get it, but ISKL up to the challenge. ISKL making it very, very difficult for SAS to gain any meters past that gain line. And again, SAS comes down, secures the ball well. They're trying to get quick ball out. ISKL not really contending that much, not really worried about slowing SAS down. But they are putting pressure on them, and it's really difficult for SAS to break down that defensive and find the gaps to break through. But they're still giving it to their forwards. The forwards are trying to break through. A little stiff arm there, but ISKL, they've always been strong tacklers. And now quick ball out to the outside. They've got some numbers on the outside. A little overlap, and now the overlap with the left hand. There it is. One more on the left, but one more guy to beat. Not quite over. Soya making a good tackle there. But they are knocking on the doorstep. SAS they're going to find the gaps if they can, but ISKL very solid. They have to make sure they make these tackles. These one-on-one tackles are absolutely key. A broken tackle will lead to a try. And if they can get through here, they will score. But ISKL, they got to get nice low body position. And that's going to be a try. All right, so SAS scoring the first try, opening the score here in their fourth game of the tournament, ISKL and SAS. I did not see who made that try, but number 5, that is Hamish. He's going to try to go for a conversion here. And unfortunately missed the conversion, but it is favorable weather for these kicks. There's no wind whatsoever, and so the kicks should be relatively accurate. Yesterday we had some blustering winds, and it made kicking very, very difficult. But as the afternoon drags on, we do have winds increasing a little bit. So SAS will kick off again to ISKL. ISKL standing a little bit further back from that 10-meter line. But that shouldn't be the problem. Great take there by ISKL. And they are quick to get the ball in hand as they drive through and try to penetrate that SAS defense. Stripped of the ball. SAS just did it again. SAS lost their first match earlier today to TAS, the undefeated TAS so far, who have already made their way into the finals. But SAS still have some work to do if they want to ensure that they can get in that gold medal game. And a nice run on the outside by number 14. That is Sasha with some wheels. And a little bit too quick for that winger of ISKL. So SAS out to a very, very good start right now with a 10-point lead on ISKL. A really good attempt there, actually, by Hamish. Just hit the crossbar and denied his team an additional 2 points for that conversion attempt. But they get the ball again, and they are going to be kicking it off to ISKL. A nice high kick and a really good chase there by SAS. easy to field these kicks, especially the high ones with the sun being at the right angle. Sometimes that ball gets lost in the sunlight, and it makes it difficult to make those catches. But ISKL looking very good right now. They have ball in hand, really strong fit, but a great jackling job, and not a great clear out by ISKL, and that's going to be diving in. So he tried to jackal, get that ball back, but unfortunately he was off his feet, so diving in. So we'll see. Soya looks like he's going to be taking it to the left side of the field. It's probably better. He is right-footed, so it's going to make that kick a little bit easier. Unfortunately, he pulls it, and so he doesn't gain too much. Just outside the 22-meter line. They will get the line out, but he didn't advance the ball as well as he would have liked right there. And you can see it in his frustration. He's disappointed with himself. We have an equal number of fans here, actually, for the SAS and ISKL. Out there with their noisemakers, the drums and the rattles. And some great spirit by both supporting teams right now. Great line out there, very controlled, very well done, and now they're going to get ball in hand. It looks like there's an overlap there. Tries to get 3-on-2, now a 2-on-1. One more pass, but unfortunately not. And they steal the ball again. So with those situations there, you really want to make sure that you are securing the ball quickly, because SAS is quick to pounce and jackal on that ball. Once the player is tackled, they already have somebody else right there jackling for that ball. So supporting those runners is absolutely crucial, especially against a team like SAS. So that's going to be a knock-on against SAS, and that'll mean ISKL scrum deep in their defensive zone. Now again, I'm not sure what ISKL's tactic is in these situations here. Oftentimes when you are deep, so they're moving number 13 over. Number 13 is Nicholas. He is most likely going to be kicking the ball out, and that's a really good place to be. You want to get the ball downfield, relieve some of that pressure to get out of your zone so that you're not backed up against your own goal, their try line. And it looks like Sawyer's moved out to the inside center position. So, yeah, it looks like they're going to be kicking out. Now, it's not a bad idea. So SAS actually have one of their wingers or one of their players out on the right-hand side, assuming that they're going to be kicking it out to touch. What might not be a bad play here is for ISKL to kick it crossfield to the right and have one of their runners run on and even try to get that ball. So running to the open space, putting on a really, really good chase, and hoping that they can get there before the covering player does. Because right now he's covering the line, and I think they're going to do just that. Excellent play. So now it's going to be 50-50. This is exactly what I just said would be a great play for ISKL, and they've done it. Excellent job. A very, very smart play by ISKL. So using that open field, he's not through the gate, ref, but apparently they're just going to let that play on. So SAS get it back, but that exactly was the right play by ISKL to do. A very tricky play. They could have given themselves a chance there, but I'm not really sure how that wasn't a penalty against SAS. But again, I'm not the referee, and I'm not making the calls. So it is going to be SAS scrum. All right, so the scrum is set. SAS get the ball. They're going to get a nice quick ball out. Nice little wrap around with the scrum half. And really good pass there. Great hands as well. They're going to gain that speed. Really tough to take down, especially when you're receiving the ball at speed. It really helps break down those defensive lines. And a great play there by ISKL. SAS losing a few meters there. But again, they're going to charge through, try to barge through that line, draw in the defenders, and then spread it out wide, as you can see they're doing. So they're setting up their back line to move over to the left-hand side to overlap and have a lot of numbers there. And all they got to do is match up with numbers, and they should have plenty of people out there to run. Breaks through one gap. One more pass is all he needs. Unfortunately, he doesn't see it, but he keeps going himself. He looks like that's number 14, Sasha, again, for his second try of the day. So he did have an option on the left-hand side, but he obviously felt confident enough that he could make that run himself, and he opted to tuck it under his arm and go for the try zone. And Hamish again will have another attempt at goal. The winds have picked up a little bit here, but they're at his back right now, so it should give him a little bit extra boost for distance, but the alignment might be a little bit different. Let's see if he can get it through, and just pulls it a little bit left. Not quite there, not quite enough to convert on that try. So 3 unconverted tries to 0 in favor of SAS right now. It is 15-0. And again, if you're just joining us, ISKL is the home team on the scoreboard and wearing yellow and blue sleeves. And the guest team on the scoreboard is wearing the blue and red hoop jerseys, and that is SAS, Singapore American School. Great tackle there, and a great take by ISKL. Again, those catches are very, very difficult to make, especially knowing that you've got someone breathing down your neck, ready to take you down once you touch that ball. So a lot of bravery and a nice cross-field kick, but they do need a good chase still. And SAS retrieve it. They've got a man behind him. He's going to try to take him one-on-one. Almost breaks one tackle. Good one-on-one tackle there, but gets the ball. And it is a penalty there. So once you get tackled, you do have to release the ball before you can pick it up again, and he did not do that. So that's going to be an ISKL. They're going to opt for a tap. There's 3 options you can use usually for a straight arm penalty. Either a tap and go, essentially, a kicking for touch to form a line out, or setting up a scrum. And they opted for the tap and go, keeping the ball in hand and driving forward. Almost stripped there by SAS. They really get their hands in there on those tackles, and you really got to make sure that ball is securely wrapped up. Oh, great little fake there to gain those extra meters, and he should be able to get there to secure the ball. Great job. And another ball out there. They got numbers on the left. He has got a quick ball out. It went backwards. That's not a knock-on, but SAS up to the challenge, driving him back. ISKL still got to move forward. Get that ball out to the wing if they can. They do have the numbers. They do have the space, but Hamish there again. And again, that's the difficulty sometimes with going into those contacts, especially with those big guys, is that you're going to get somebody tackling you, and then there's going to be somebody jackling for that ball, and that's what Hamish did right there. Great job by him to secure that ball, and now they get to kick for touch, which they just did. Now they have a line out, again, in ISKL territory. ISKL having a difficult time getting into SAS territory right now. Difficult breaking those lines of defense. They have used the kicking game, and it has worked well, but they weren't able to hold on to the possession as well as they would have liked. All right, so we have an SAS line out. And now ISKL have it, but aggressive tackle there by SAS. They didn't like losing that ball, clearly, and they want to gain that possession yet again. And ISKL get the ball back again, and they get the ball in hand, and they're going for another kick behind the defenders right now. They got 2 backs there, just in case. And so they're playing basically with 5 up front and 2 backs to prevent ISKL from using the kicking game to their advantage. And again, SAS secured midfield, and they're going to run in numbers here. They're going to break one tackle all the way through and down, and great clean out there just to secure that ball and keep the phases building. SAS quite good at doing that, taking the contact, building the phases, being disciplined on the offense in the attack, and now swinging it out to the back line, and they're going to kick up and over. It's going to be a foot race now, and depending on that bounce, they could, yes, they could take advantage of it, which they almost did. Now it's going to be a penalty against SAS. So time will still keep going. Time has expired on the clock, but ISKL can still play. And once there is a non-penalty whistle to stop play, that will signal the end of the first half. But this kick, if he kicks it out to touch, which he does successfully, it will be a line out for ISKL, and the game will continue even though there is no time left on the clock. Yes. All right, nice steal there by Hamish. And unfortunately, nobody's going to catch him. Too fast, too strong, too big as he puts it down in the corner to extend the lead to 20 against ISKL. As they go into the half, SAS in full control of this game right now. ISKL finding it hard to break down the SAS defense. The only time they really had success has been with the kicking game, so maybe that's going to be the instruction given to them. Choose your kicking spots carefully, find some grass, get it out to either touch or contest for it with a really, really good chase, but they might have to implore more of a kicking strategy in this second half if they want to narrow the gap between SAS and themselves. But we'll see you in a few minutes. Take a break, and we'll be back in 5. All right, we are back here. We're about to begin the second half of this final game of day 2 for the rugby part of these touch and rugby IASAS championships here at the Taipei American School. Beautiful conditions, and SAS is definitely taking advantage of this great weather and very little wind. They're up 20-0 against ISKL. ISKL is wearing the yellow and blue, and SAS is wearing the blue and red hooped jerseys. And they kick off a nice high kick. They're going to contest that if they can. And they get it ball back. Beautiful play right there. And that was Sinesios with that beautiful grab just over the defender's head there. Great kick, great chase, great take. And now they are inside 10 meters of the opposition's try line. And they're going to try to bust through there as they've done many, many times before. Good ball out there. Back to Hamish. He's scored a couple tries already. He's trying to convert a few. And a good clear out there by SAS. Again, they're trying to get past that gain line. But a turnover there. ISKL have it. Takes it to ground. Driving through is number 8. That is Alex. A not rolling away penalty from SAS. Little delay tactics there used by SAS. And Soya from ISKL is going to try to kick to touch. He just has to make sure this one is well struck. And that could be a little bit light. He's a little bit light on that one. Doesn't find the touch line, which means SAS get the ball and get position. Now ISKL have to play defense yet again. Those kicking for touch, you really have to be sure how you're doing that, because if you make a mistake like happened there, you're not going to find touch. You're going to give the other team the possession, and now they're back to square one. Having being pushed back to their 10-meter zone inside their own 22 again. So that is the inherent danger with going for touch. Wind can play a part. Missed kicks can play a part. But if you don't find the touch line, the other team is going to get that possession, and it could cost you dearly. But right now it's going to be ISKL scrum just inside their own 22-meter line. And stolen by SAS. Now SAS have it. ISKL is going to have to shift from offensive positioning to defense and then get it back in. It's going to be swung over to the outside, or is it going to swing back again? And there they go. They're going to take it up the middle again. One of the advantages of taking up the middle is that sometimes you draw in the defenders, and when you draw in the defenders from the outside into the middle, it does free up that space for your wingers to navigate and to penetrate those open gaps. So that is one of the advantages of having these kind of pick and go, or the small little passes that keep it condensed. It draws the defenders in. And now, great little kick over the top. A high tackle here, penalty against ISKL. So no advantage there, and I think that's why they went for the kick. There was an advantage being played, and they decided to opt for a kick. A little bit, you might as well go for it. There's nothing to lose there, because even if ISKL do get the ball, there's no advantage been taken. It's going to be called back, and it'll still be your ball. So SAS kicks for touch, and they will have about 5 to 8 meters out from the try line of ISKL. So again, SAS has been pretty dominant this half as well. They were dominant in the first half. ISKL had difficulty getting past the defensive line, gaining any kind of meters past them. And they're having similar difficulty here. But again, that kicking game, and that might not be one of their strengths. It may not be something they've been practicing, but the kicking game is very effective against a team like SAS, because breaking down their defense can be very, very difficult. So now they've opted for a maul. They've got the good lineup. They're going to keep pushing. They've got to keep progressing the ball. Once they get over the line, all that guy's got to do is place it down for a try. But they're short of the line right now, Hands in the ruck. That should be a penalty against them, but it's not. SAS have numbers on the right-hand side, trying to break through the middle. Overlap there. Back to number 11. 11 getting tackled there by ISKL. ISKL, this is their last stand, so to speak, trying to prevent them from getting another try. And they're doing a very, very good job there. A decent clear out. And ISKL, great job there. Just putting relentless pressure. and they may want to kick this one. Not a great kick, but it will find some grass. It will at least alleviate some of the pressure that SAS has been putting on inside their defensive end. And a great tackle after the pass. And number 11 darts past a few defenders, breaks one, is caught up now, tries to offload. Sloppy play here, but they still have possession. SAS maintaining that ball behind them, making sure they pass behind them, which they're doing well. And a good clear out there, but now it's a contested ball. Again, SAS keeping that ball, even despite having ISKL all over them. Great tackle by number 13 from ISKL. Very solid tackle. And a lot of times, the pain never really sets in until after the game because the adrenaline is coursing through their veins right now. They're only focused on the task at hand. And SAS trying to build their phases, getting the ball into contact, resetting, drawing in the defense, and hopefully then swinging it wide to the open players. But ISKL making really good use of their one-on-one tackles. Anytime you can break a tackle and require 3 or 4 guys to tackle you, it really gives a lot more space to your offensive line to go to work. And it's stolen there by ISKL. A ruck was not formed, so beautiful jackling by ISKL. They're going to shift over to an offensive set right now. Just get one ball out. He can go for it. Stiff arm there, but grabbed another offload and securing the ruck. Another good move there. So ISKL, never say die attitude. This is fantastic. Despite being down 20-0, they are not relenting with their defense. Ball went backwards. All right, so apparently it's not releasing or not rolling away. Not sure what the call is, but it is an ISKL penalty. If they do go for a touch, they have to make sure they kick it. That's a moot point. They're just going to drive it right forward and try to... Wow, that was a great jackling there by number 6. There very, very quickly. That was Meyer, basically, again, causing the turnover. So a lot of turnovers here, but not from silly play, but actually just from excellent defensive play on both sides. So you are allowed to contest for the ball as long as a ruck has not been formed. I knew he was going for a touch there, but again, a mishandled play, and that's going to go, looked like that was knocked on. A double knock on there is the call. ISKL will be on the defensive side of this thing. It's going to be SAS's put in for this. Double knock on started off by ISKL. A nice ball in hand there. Nice run there by number 9. That was Jude. And again, SAS very good at the fundamentals. They do a very good job. They're running with the ball in 2 hands. What that does is it puts the defender in 2 minds. Do they take the play or do they take the pass? And now he's just going to go over the try line. And that's a great play by Soya, number 10. Outsized, but he was able to prevent the try being scored. Number 6, that is Meyer. He had a whole side to get there, but Soya up to the task, just pushing him out of bounds before he could put the ball down. And even that ball, it looked like it was dropped. It wasn't actually placed, and it wasn't actually looked like it was a try. He actually dropped it. So no try. That's right, no try. It should be ISKL ball. A fantastic defensive play there to prevent yet another try. So ISKL doing a very good job holding SAS scoreless in this half. All of SAS's points were done in the first half, but again, ISKL doing a great job defensively, but it's offensively where they seem to be a little bit short right now. They don't seem to have a solution for the SAS defense. So that's a goal line dropout, a really, really good kick there. They take it at midfield, and now they make their way back in. So anytime there's a player running at speed, it's always able to take down. A great tackle again. And the ball is out. Quick hands over to Hamish. One more scoop pass. Knocked back, and now ISKL have it. Could they break the deadlock here? SAS back up on defense. They're well organized. And now they're ISKL just trying to break some tackles, get some momentum, and find those gaps. Break one tackle. There's number 5. Sends it back. They got numbers on the right. They just need some good ball delivery, which they're not really getting right now. ISKL there. Rip the ball away. SAS has it now. And that has been one of the pieces, the missing puzzle pieces of the ISKL offense is good ball delivery to players. Getting a good pass right where they want it, which is right at their chest. Making good, the running has been fine, but really the execution on some of those passes has been lacking, and it's really stopped a lot of their progress. But still, again, these guys are all learning. ISKL have a fair few number of seniors. They only have 2. The youngest, they only have 2 young players which are in sophomores, but most of them it's all juniors and seniors. So technically they do have a fair bit of a young squad. Hopefully they'll be back next year and using this experience at IASAS as a very valuable one to build on for next year. It's going to be ISKL scrum at about half field, just in SAS territory. And they're going to switch to the right-hand side. Breaks one tackle, looks for the offload, not there. So take it to ground, secure the ruck, and get that ball. Build those phases again. Get the ball out to the outside, or give it to your forwards and break through if they can. Draw those defenders in. The more people it takes to take you down, the less players are going to be on the outside. And now you're going to have a little bit of run there for Soya. And let's see what 15 does. Can he break that first tackle? It looks a little high, but they're not going to call it. And 15, ball gets ripped out. Ball security is so important in this game. And a nice, good, strong tackle by SAS, but ISKL. Okay, so ISKL turned the ball over, not releasing. And another great play there by SAS, forcing the turnover by getting there before the ruck can be formed, jackling for the ball and contesting. And they're going to kick it out to touch. And a wonderful play there by a couple of these parents. A souvenir for a lucky crowd. And it's going to be an SAS lineout. SAS in full control here. They don't really have to do much, being up 20-0 right now. They just have to be solid, disciplined, and just keep the ball moving, keep the ball in possession, and let ISKL do the work. Because ISKL have had a hard time breaking through defense. And now look at that great move there, number 14, but breaks another tackle, all the way. And a great possession there. That's going to be a penalty against SAS. It surely has to be. He rolled. Yikes. Okay, so SAS still has it. ISKL did everything right there, and unfortunately we're not rewarded with that ball. They were there to jackal, and the player went one additional roll. But again, I am not the referee, folks. If I was, I'd be calling it very differently. I'm powerless up in my box up here. So SAS have the ball. So 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. But again, even though the time does run down on the clock, the referee is the one with the final time. And they are the ones who are going to make that final whistle to draw a close to what has been a pretty dominant performance by SAS. They haven't really let ISKL get back into the game in any way, shape, or form. They've played very good defense. They've gotten the ball in hand. They've contested heavily whenever ISKL has had the ball, and they made it really difficult to build any kind of attack for ISKL. So SAS really playing well, and of course, anytime they do get the ball, they do look potent. They do look like they can score, as they have just done right there. So, adding to the score is now 25-0 in favor of SAS. This win here for SAS, this should put them at 3 wins. This will put them at 3 wins and 1 loss. And barring anything disastrous with their game against GIST tomorrow, if they win tomorrow against GIST, they will go 4-1. That's tied, so that'll be one of the top spots, and that will ensure them a spot in the final. And so winning today is going to make it that much easier for them to go into tomorrow's game with a little bit of confidence, because all they got to do is win one more game, and they're automatically in that gold medal match with a record of 4-1. But again, anything can happen. Miracles have happened before. There could be a huge upset between our 6th place team right now, GIST, and SAS, who will be in 2nd place right now. Anything can happen on a day, and tomorrow is going to be, it looks like it's going to be cold and wet tomorrow, so very different conditions, and we'll see how they adapt. But right now, that is a 25-0 win in favor of SAS. They move to a record of 3-1 with 1 game remaining against GIST tomorrow. If they are to win that game tomorrow, they will automatically be in the final, and they will play TAS, the host team, who has now gone 4-0. They are undefeated going into their game against ISKL tomorrow morning. Until then, folks, we have exciting games coming up for you next. We have ISKL versus ISM in touch rugby, followed by SAS versus ISB, and finishing off at 5:15, TAS and GIST. And I welcome, in a few minutes, our expert commentators, Elisa and Riona. I want to make sure I pronounce it right. Renoa. I knew I got the words right. Renoa and Elisa are going to be here commentating, and they are expert commentators for the touch portion of this. And I will see you tomorrow, everybody. Enjoy the rest of these 2026 Touch and Rugby Championships here at the Taipei American School.